Yeah, I'm Dandelion. I'm really happy to organize this event for Miriam Hacksaw, who's on tour, and this is the last day of her tour to begin another tour. I'm sure you'll hear about that. Anyway, thanks for coming. Thanks for bringing food. Thanks for bringing your loving attention. And oh shoot, I forgot what your band name is. It's
I'm the William T. Sherman Marching
the
Band.
William T. Sherman Marching Band is up now.
Awesome. Thank you. All right. I thought that was a fitting tune to start with. I play resistance music, historical stuff. That was John Brown's March. John, of course, not only known for Harper's Ferry, which illustrated to the country that, yeah, there's a microphone, that the abuse of authority could not be dealt with through peaceful means. But before then, he was here in Kansas. For those of you who don't really know that history, Missourians were enslavers were coming across the border and they were terrorizing Kansans in an attempt to influence their politics if they would become a slave state. And John showed up and said, fuck no. So when he took a run on Harper's Ferry, they pounded out 900 pikes. He had a broadsword because they couldn't really get firearms to do it, and they went and made a run on the armory. So there's a good reason why he's painted onto the ceiling of the Capitol in Topeka. This one comes from Ireland. It's actually relatively new, maybe about 20 years old or so, but it certainly has all the feel of Irish music and the IRA and all the paramilitary units. To give you a little background on this, the song is called Me Old Hoath Gun. The Hoath Guns were the rifles that were used during the Easter Rebellion 2 years before then. There was a raid on Port Hoath. They had seized all these rifles. And so this is a love song to a rifle. The Hoath Guns were actually Mausers, and when the Turning Point shooting occurred and I learned what the firearm was, like, oh fuck, I gotta learn that one. So this is a love song to a Mauser. Sorrow in my heart, my old hoath gun, since lately had to part, my old hoath gun. In Ireland's day of need you proved a friend indeed. When you made a bullet speed was glad when you were near, my old gun. For the foreman did I fear, my old gun. But your barking bitter bite put that Saxon curse to flight, and he didn't stop to fight, my old gun. How glorious was your field, my old gun, when you made the Saxon reel, my old gun. And the Lance of Sherman come charging down O'Connell Street, but they made a grim retreat, my old gun. The party it was sore, my old gun. Shall I never see you no more, my old gun? We had glorious hopes indeed, could have set our Ireland free, but you parted far from me, my old gun. They will surely come, my old gun, who'll join the fighting men, my old gun. It's a brave, determined band who'll finally take our stand. Freedom of our land, my old gun. Ireland was the first colony in the 1300s, so they've been fighting for a long time. They're still partially colonized. So the next one, I'm going to invite Simon to come up and sing this with me. A lot of this music, as you look at it over hundreds of years of colonialism, sometimes it's just simple storytelling, and it's kind of a classic of old-time music, and a lot of people have sung it. You know, it's a story of struggle, but really when you listen to it, it's a story of wage theft, really. And it's a beautiful song, and so we're going to do it for you. It's called The Hills of Mexico, or you might know it as Mexican cowboy. great flyer if I didn't play at least one song out of that whole folk punk scene. I grew up as a punk rock kid. Like I spent most of my high school years at the outhouse, and then I picked up a banjo 25 plus years ago, and I was just immersed myself in West Virginia music. And right around the time of the election, I was looking for just some new stuff. You know, I was listening to all the protest music from the punk scene and the folk scene when I was a kid. And I discovered this whole genre. Like 25 years of music happened, and I didn't listen to any of it. So I discovered and started learning some of these tunes. And Eric Peterson turned out to be a really cool songwriter, so I've been learning some of his. And this is one from Mischief Brew, and it's called Labor Day Massacre. Alone, take what you can get, break all but your bones. When they finally ask, well, what have you done? Say life is a game and I won, yes I won. Say life is a game and I won. The asphalt a heave and look back at me, said those are the words of a wise one indeed. One day you'll belong when you've been here this long. One day you wake up and forget what seemed wrong. The first day of May will quite pass by, and the boss is still rain 5 to 9. You curse when I say it was like living in wage. Say I made my house out of mud, so should they. So the ball field is level, let's play. I think the bullets, the blood, and the rage that went in to stir up the 8-hour day. Seems the masters have found themselves new rights to cage. Price of the union stays great. They gave her a raise, so they raised up her rent. Says I'll never bust from this box that I'm in. She's too scared to talk, step off the sidewalk. She shrugs it all off as the luck of the draw. The lady cries when robbed from a kind. The dirt on your hands, sweat in your eye. If the fortunate son really wants to eat dust, well, I'm sure there's a chance he'll be hired. There's a million stories of their crimes left to rot, but I never will play as long as I sleep on the job. So it's brother, you know we're all in this alone. Take all we can get, break all but our bones. And they finally ask, well, what have we done? Say life is a game and we've won, yes we've won. Say life is a game and we're done. All right, this is one comes out of my from my youth, late high school, early college, or something like that. I first got their albums, a bootleg of a record called Pictures of Starving Children Sell Records, and like I was hooked. And this particular song now is circulating again. Like it was really cool. It was at Rural Grit Happy Hour, and you know, some folks came up to me, 100% not punk rockers, right? And they asked to sing the song and asked if I knew it. And it was our duets and trios night, and it was this one. And they told me that, yeah, it's circulating again, you know, and that's really fucking cool. So this one is a Chumbawamba song. It's called The Day the Nazi Died. We're here and there, they're everywhere. We're here and there, they're everywhere. were told that after the war, not Spanish without a trace, but the Italians, the fascists, still dream of a master race. The history books, they tell their defeat in 45, but they all came out of the woodwork on the day the Nazi died. Say the prisoner of Spandau was a symbol of defeat, while Hess remained in prison and the fascists they would be. So the promise of a Hungarian world will never materialize, and they all came out of the woodwork on the day the Nazi died. They're here, then there, they're everywhere. They're here, then there, they're everywhere. The world is riddled with maggots and the maggots getting fat. They're making a tasty meal of all the bosses' bureaucrats. They're taking over courtrooms, the fat and full of pride. They all came out of the woodwork on the day the Nazi died. So if you meet with these historians, I'll tell you what to say. Tell them that the Nazis never really went away. They're out there burning houses down and penning racist lies. They'll never rest again until every Nazi dies. They will never rest again until every Nazi dies. Want to play one?
My turn?
Yeah.
Okay, great.
I would love that. My cello banjo. This is not actually the first time that I put on this classic slogan on anything. Actually, the first time I used it was before I ever played music. I was a public defender, and I got a slightly larger office and put in my own printer. And in 6-point or 8-point font, I printed it really small right on top of my fucking printer. It said, "This machine kills fascists." We had to file everything in paper at the time. So this is a song that I think a lot of people know. It's a really popular song. Nirvana played it. It is an old-time tune. It's probably written in the 1870s. The first recordings of it were probably in the 1910s, which means about 40 years of this thing circulating. It's been bluegrassers turned it into a love song and a song of breakup, and it's been turned into a railroad accident song. But I think if you listen to the lyrics and you recognize when it was written, it was at the end of Reconstruction. It was at the beginning of the terror of lynch mobs, and so at the end of the Underground Railroad. And when you realize that, and that the titles Black Girl is really a common one, very early on in recordings, and sort of disappears, and you're like, oh, that's what that's about. That's fucked up. And that's a story that we need to tell, because it's the same story today. So, it's one that everybody should sing. And so, Simon is going to sing that with me. This one's called Black Girl.
lie to me. Tell me, where did you sleep last night? Neath the pines, where the sun shines, and I shiver the whole night through.
Right. For Simon to sing with us. This is well, it's still a translation from Chumbawamba. Just because I knew it. There's an English translation actually that's really good, but this is a historical tune. It likely was written in the 1950s actually, when there was a sort of anti-communist thing, but this anti-fascist thing in Italy, right? So it became very popular, but it is. There's at least some argument that it was written before then and was circulated within World War II among the partisan fighters in Italy. And I think internationally now it may be the most well-known anti-fascist tune. Certainly it became very popular in Ukraine and in other places, and it's still a good one to sing. So it's important for us too. I like it. So should we do Bella Ciao?
Yes.
All right. Oh, hold on. I only got 4 strings, so I gotta fix things there. Give me 1 second. Push it. Push that Use a touch. Friction pegs in the summertime of Kansas City, Missouri. All right.
Bird is waking outside my window. Bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao, ciao. Drags my senses into the sunlight, for there are things that I must do. Wish me luck now, I have to leave you. Bella ciao, ciao, ciao. With my friends now to the Twin Cities, we're gonna shake the gates of hell. And I will tell them, we will tell them, Bella ciao, 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 that our sunlight is not for franchise, and wish the bastards drop down dead. Next time you see me, I may be smiling. Bella ciao, 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 I'll be in prison or on the TV. I'll say the sunlight dragged me here. Stamattina mi sono alzato. Bella ciao, ciao, I'll be in prison or on the TV. I'll say the sunlight dragged me here.
All right. Simon Johnson, everybody. All right, I got one more for you, and I'll hand it over to the other musicians. Thank you guys so much, and Dandy for inviting me. I know Dandy from choir and the Real Good Happy Hour, so it's really cool to be invited into this space, and I haven't hung out. I'm going to say one thing about this space. It's really awesome, and I've been in a lot of punk rock clubs, and this might be the first or second with an actual toilet seat, and by far this is the first one that actually had a bidet. So usually like it's it's pretty much like the crust on the toilet with FCC is usually like mortar at that point, and yeah, it's so solid work. Like it's toilet seat and it's got just been cleaned. Like it's pretty amazing. This is like totally luxury punk rock. If I had known that the folk punk was so sweet, I had no idea that it was showered and stuff. It's awesome. It's like going back to my youth, but it's also my adulthood. It's great. All right. So this is the last one I'm going to play. This is the national anthem. It is not the anthem at law. It is the anthem in fact. The anthem at law is the Star Spangled Banner. It's the one that's been designated by Congress. It was written in around 1814. The Star Spangled Banner is about the Battle of Baltimore. What actually happened there is the Brits were fighting the French when Napoleon finally lost. The Brits had more manpower. They had an Operation Chesapeake Bay. They attacked the Americans. They forced them out of Washington, D.C. They burned the whole fucking place down and then made their way up to Baltimore. They got up to Baltimore. They ran into Fort McHenry. And so they went through, busted through one line of defense and the second one and said, oh, there's just too many people. So what we're going to do is we're going to blast the fuck out of them for the rest of the night and then we're going to leave. And that's what they did. And Francis Scott Key was captured. He was a civilian, but he was captured by colonial Marines. The colonial Marines were freed slaves. They were the special forces of the British. And that pissed him off. And so despite getting their ass kicked, doing nothing, hiding in a pile of bricks, he wrote a song about the British missing the flagpole. So there was no hero there, right? And in fact, in that song, he says that of the hirelings and slaves, that we will terrorize you and put you in the grave. Like, he's really fucking pissed about this shit. He said, this is no refuge. In other words, they're trading their service for freedom. So it's a shitty song. It was popularized during the baseball games during World War I, and eventually the enslavers, the whole lost cause thing made that thing our national anthem. The real national anthem was written in 1862. It was the single most popular song for a long period of time based on sheet music sales. It was a recruiting song for the Union. It was written not only in support of the Union, it was written by abolitionists. It is a free slave song. It is a pro-Union song. It was a pro-fighter song. And it is, in my opinion, it's the national anthem. And I'm not going to be, that's not subject to argument. So this one's called the Battle Cry of Freedom. Oh, rally round the flag, boys, rally once again, shouting the battle cry of freedom. Oh, rally from the hillside, gather from the plain, shouting the battle cry of freedom. The Union forever, hurrah, boys, hurrah, down with the traitor, stand up with the stars. We rally round the flag, boys, rally once again, shouting the battle cry of freedom. And we're springing to the call of our brothers gone before, shouting the battle cry of freedom. And we'll fill the vacant ranks with a million free men more, shouting the battle cry of freedom. The Union forever, hurrah, boys, hurrah, down with the traitor and up with the stars. We rally round the flag, boys, rally once again, shouting the battle cry of freedom. Yes, we'll rally from the east and we'll rally from the west, shouting the battle cry of freedom. And we'll hurl the rebel crew from the land we love the best, shouting the battle cry of freedom. to our ranks, the loyal, true, and brave, shouting the battle cry of freedom.